Hakadosh, good morning. I just wanted to share with you a beautiful idea on this week's parasha. We say in Parashat Haazinu, Kenesher Yair Kino, Al Gozalav Yirachef, Yifros Kenafav Yikacheu, Yisrael Levrato. So there was once a soldier that he was going to be put in jail forever. And he was thrown into the jail, right, of the tzava, basically the soldiers, right, where this is talking about of the army jail. Now, what happened was they went and they told him, no, why are you here? Like, what did you already do? So he went and he answered, you know why? Because I went and I broke a glass. Right? I broke a glass. Obviously, it was purposely, right? And what happened was, that's why they put me in jail forever. So they went, what? You came and you broke a glass? So imagine right now, you have a glass, whether it's of a door, of a window, you're going to be put in jail forever for breaking a glass, right? So he comes and he says, no, but you don't understand, right? I forgot to mention, it was the glass of a submarine, and it was deep down in the waters, right? Now all of a sudden, people will say, now it makes sense. But if it's just going to come and you're going to break a glass here, big deal. Okay, you broke a glass, pay for it, this, but you're not going to go to jail forever. But here, it's mamash, you're breaking the glass of a submarine, and it's going to be deep in the water, right? The glass of submarine is not the glass, one of these glasses here, number one. Number two, right? You're doing it underwater. That's going to destroy the entire submarine, kill everybody inside. It's a completely different story. So therefore, it says in the parasha, when we say these words, Hakadosh Baruch Hu with Am Yisrael is compared to the mercy of the neshed, of the eagle that it has on its children. Just like Chazal say in the Midrash, why is the neshed different from any other birds? What's the difference between the eagle and every single other bird? So he comes and he says, all the birds, they give, right? They give to their children between their legs, right? Why? Because they're afraid, right, of a bird which is on top that's going to come and grab their children, meaning the birds are grabbing their children with their legs and they're flying, okay, with the children on the bottom. He says, but the neshed is only afraid of the human beings, that they're going to come, they're going to throw an arrow or going to shoot. They're not afraid of anybody flying on top because they fly the highest. So for what happens? So they come and he puts it on top of them, right? Why? He says it's better that the bullet or the arrow is going to go into me and not into his children. Okay, so therefore he comes and he says, right, this is a mashal to somebody that was walking in a path and he had his son in front of him, right? What happened? They come and they wanted to grab the child, right? So he grabbed them away and he put him behind them. Okay, fine. All of a sudden came a wolf and he tried to get him from behind. So again, he put him in front of him. Again, so he doesn't understand what's going on. So he puts him on his shoulders. And he says, and that's the explanation what we say in the Devarim, right? This is in the desert where you saw that HaKadosh Baruch Hu carried you. What does that mean? We always have the enemies behind us and always in front of us and always in every single place. HaKadosh Baruch Hu puts us on top of them in order to protect us. So what we ask ourselves is, but what's going on though? What's going to happen right now? You're on the bottom. You come and you take a bullet, right? Or you take an arrow and you shoot it into the neshed, right? What's going to happen? It's going to hit him and it's going to kill him. But 1 second, what's going to happen then to the children? Anyway, what's going to happen is that he's going to fall, right? And anyway, they're going to get the children. So therefore, he comes and he says, this is compared to somebody that goes into the captain's seat or the pilot's seat of an airplane, right? And he only killed the two pilots. I don't understand. If you only killed the two pilots, I mean, you killed every single other person that's in the plane. Because who's going to come and so same thing. If you came and you killed the neshed, you killed the eagle, you killed the children as well, right? So what does that mean then? Does it make sense? So Rav Shimshon Raphael Hirsch, he comes and he answers beautifully, right? It's a beautiful question. And he comes and he answers like this: Keneshed Yair Keno. He comes and he says the neshed does not put his children, right? He comes and he says he doesn't take them to the marom, to the high up above when they're sleeping, but rather he first wakes them up, and then afterwards, right? He doesn't take out his wings, on top of them, but rather on top of them, not beneath them. What does that mean? They come on top of him when very, very quickly. So he says, right, the fact that they're coming and they're doing that, right, and then in order to take them, so the younger ones, they're obligated to lift themselves up and to actually fly, right? And they go on themselves onto the wings. So therefore he comes and he says, we're not talking about such young ones that they don't know how to fly. They already know how to fly. But rather they're able to actually do something. So what happens? So now when they're going to come and they're going to send an arrow or a bullet into this nesher, 1 second before, right? He comes and he's going to, what happens is he sends a call to his younger ones and they get up and they fly away. They're able to go off from their father. And therefore it says, Keneshid Ya'ir Kino. He's awakening his children, right? He comes and he awakens them up in order that they're able to do that. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu comes and he says, I want you guys to be like me. What does that mean? There's going to become some times, right, which I'm going to actually just let you go. And you guys have to spread your own wings in the Shamayim. Okay, so now comes the Shum Shofar Hirsch and he says, and he adds another dimension to what we just mentioned right now. And he says, what does it mean, Ya'ir Kino, that he's awakening his children, right? The ken is the nest of the children. It's Kfitzat Gozalim, right? We're talking about when they're jumping, right, inside to their children. Like Kfitzat Gozalim and Kamfer Vihem, right? To the knafayim of their fathers. And that's the difference between Tfisat HaOlam HaYadut to the Goyim, right? Between us and the Jews. What does that mean? Hashem, he comes and he makes a ruach, right? At the beginning, he makes a wind, a sound, right? And he's actually coming and he's preparing us, right? And this bitachon is what's actually going to come and going to help us to make us fitting, that we're fitting for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Only the nesher, the tzayir, only the young eagle that's strong enough in order to leave, right, the nest, he will come to his father, right, and jump on and able to go out. So, right, so he says, so too the mashal, other people, right, or other nations, right, you have to grab them, you have to, no. That's why it says over here like this, they come and they build everything around themselves, right, and they're bringing it, so he comes and he says, right, it's going to be, right, all the more so as well. So he comes and he says, the person that has this ometz, the person that has this strength, he's going to find the bitachon in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right, and everything in order to continue going. And that's what he did. He took us in the desert, and then we were able to go. Okay, and therefore there's a beautiful mashal to understand the difference between the Jews and the non-Jews, right? He says it was once a hunter, but it was beside a village, right? And he saw that there was a lulav tarnagolim, was a chicken coop, right? All of a sudden, he comes, he looks, there's a huge nesh, there's a huge eagle there, right? He doesn't understand. What's this eagle doing amongst the roosters, right? So he comes and he starts looking into it. And what happened was, right, is that he found, right, a gozal, who was a black one by itself. He didn't differentiate between the tarnagol, the rooster, and the eagle. So he put all of them together. And therefore the eagle grew up with the roosters. Now he comes and he sees, right, how they're acting. So he does the same thing. So he never tried to fly, right? He was always living on the ground and he was eating, he was doing everything exactly like the Tarnagolet. So that Sayyad, this is a trapper, this guy is a hunter. He was an expert. He comes and he sees a beautiful, a strong eagle. He comes and he says, I want to send him flying. He feels so bad for him. So he comes and he tells him, listen, would you sell me this black one? Right? So he says, yeah. The guy doesn't even know the difference. No problem. Take it. Right? He sells it to him. Very cheap price. Okay. So now with his Zrichat HaShemesh, he comes, he takes him to a high place, and he comes and he tells the nesher, he tells the eagle, listen, you're not a tarnagol, you're not a rooster. You're an eagle. He pushes him. Yeah? What happened? He jumps, right? And what happened? He tries, right? And all of a sudden, he tried doing this day after day, until finally the eagle was able to actually fly, right? And then he never came back. So he comes and he says, so too, we are living amongst tarnegolot, all the tarnegolot which are around us. What does that mean? We go to the supermarket, we have the bread, we have this, we have beautiful things to do. We don't actually pay attention. Why? Because we're accustomed to living amongst roosters, and we forget how high our neshama is. So therefore, we have to actually come and say to ourselves, 1 second, you're not a tarnegol, we're not a tarnegol. We have a neshama. Get out of our chicken coop. We're eagles. We're able to fly. We're able to do everything. We are the children of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So that's what we're supposed to be doing in order to be Mekadesh Shemo Barabim, in order to actually come and to understand what we're supposed to be doing, Be'ezrat Hashem.